The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. What he means is Old Testament in there. Real wrath of God type stuff. And fire and brimstone coming out of the sky. Rivers and seas, boiling. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Well, listen, yeah, I know that some people want to sit there and say, hey, well, what happened to the whole first hour? And I would say, you know what, you're absolutely right. But if there's somebody that I can sit there and give a shout out to, I always say that I bleed blue. I know I got this pink felt puppet skin that you see here, but I bleed blue. And what does that mean? That I'm going to give a shout out to the boys in blue. And I say that because the mechanism here on the door to the studio is completely shot. Now, I've asked old Uncle Clifford if we can get that thing fixed, but it didn't happen. In fact, it didn't happen at all. And so now usually I'm here right around when Art's about to leave. I always allow Art. Are you listening to Art? Are you listening to Get Lost? Get Lost exclusively here on WDCE from 7 to 9 before this show. But usually I show up, and the crew, we all show up when, right as Art's closing up. I always say, hey, Art, why don't you play a few extra jams? And he's like, sure, Sam. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But today we were running a little bit behind. And so what happened, very, very interesting. What happened is we got down here. Now, of course, if you sit there and you look at these little tiny felt fingers, these felt puppet fingers here, and then you have one of those little keypads, and you're trying to do the little keypad, and it's like, boop, 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 boop. It doesn't work. It doesn't work sometimes. No, my felt is not snagging. What? Well, yes, of course. Yes, I'm going to, I'm going to tighten up the felt here pretty soon. That is true. I'm going to tighten up the felt. I'm going to get things a little bit, a little tighter, if you will. But no. But here's what happened: is the door was locked. We couldn't even get into the studio this morning. So we couldn't get into the studio. So what do I have to do? I have to call Campus PD. Campus PD. And yes, the boys in blue saved the day. That's right. The boys in blue saved the day. So shout out to the Richmond Campus PD. Now, this is not the first time this has happened. Like I said, I've told old Uncle Clifford this before. I said, hey, old Uncle Clifford, the door is shot. And here's the real kicker. So the boys in blue show up. And what happens is the keys don't even work. So what do they have to do? Well, they had to take out one of those magic wands made out of the original woods that were here on campus during the Tartarian era. Right. Well, the whole campus is actually just built on, Tartarian structures and stuff, right? A bunch of underground tunnels here at the University of Richmond. Well, this is not secret. I don't know why anybody wants to sit there and say that this is a conspiracy. I know that's the truth. There are a bunch of underground tunnels here somewhere. I think there's a secret passage right around here underneath the north. Yeah, well, I don't want to give it away. Well, we are down here in the bowels, the deep bowels in the basement here at the University of Richmond. In fact, broadcasting live here on the 17th day of August in the year 2024. Broadcasting live from the beautiful campus here at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining in the show. 10:22 here on the East Coast, and we have a lot of people joining in. Skydra Walker first over here. On the Sam Cam. We have the Sam Cams live up and running. Sam Cam's live up and running here at Sam Newsman. Pastry Chefin is here. Who else? We got a couple other people. Big M. I can't see. Let's make sure that we don't get the. All right. Well, I can't. Well, do you want what? Well, I see him. It's I see something Dover, and then Brad. Casual. I see Casual. Philip's Story. And Cato. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here on different channels. Now, so it's not only do we have it on Instagram, the Sam Cam, we have it on Facebook, YouTube, and X, right? So it's Facebook, YouTube, and X. And so here we are. So we're on Facebook, YouTube, and X, and Instagram. And yes, that's a real radio microphone over my shoulder. I don't ever understand why people think that that's like, what? I could give two craps about social media just tanking. Yeah, if social media was gone tomorrow, what's still going to be around? This broadcast signal, which separates me from everybody else. People say, well, Sam, why don't you have a podcast? Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. The reason why there's no official Sam NewsMan podcast is because that's going to be in the future, right? Listen, I have a whole vault of stuff that's never been released. And they say, well, Sam, why do you have that as a vault? You never released it, blah, 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 blah. Because there's a method to the madness, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are setting the standard, raising the bar every single Saturday morning. And you sit there and you think, well, Saturday morning, what's so magical about Saturday morning? Well, Saturday morning is magical. Why? Is because it was when you were a child and you loved waking up, grabbing a sugary bowl of cereal, going downstairs, playing with your action figures and toys. Everything was magical and amazing. So, but that is what is incredible about all of it. Saturday morning, a magical time, a very, very magical time for most people. And so, well, here I am doing the service to all humanity by bringing back the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning. And you say, well, Sam, well, is it really working? Is it working? Is the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning still alive? Well, I would tell you that it is. Shout out to Anime Figure Statue Collector. The reason why I say that is because he's on the West Coast. It's 10:24 here, which means that it's 7:24 there. Now, do you know that we have made the top 3 for the best morning radio show in Richmond, Virginia, voted on by the Richmond Times-Dispatch? Well, not voted on by them. Awarded to me by them because of you. You awarded it to us. And here it is. The interesting thing about all this is here I am, a little old media puppet on a little college radio signal. It's about 8 miles. 8-mile signal, but yet we made the top 3 for the last 2 years. That's right. Last 2 years. Last year we were 3rd. I don't know what we're going to be this year. We'll find out on the 12th. Yes, the 12th of September. The 12th of September is when we're going to find out all of this. We're going to find out what place we were and what we've made this year. And one of the real interesting things about all this is that I think it's about time for us to call the Guinness. Can we call Guinness up? No, not the beer company. Well, hell, they could sponsor it. No, Guinness. I'm talking about the world record. Because here are the facts. I don't think that there's another puppet around, another real media puppet around who has won back-to-back awards on the radio. I think this is the first time this has ever happened. No, and this is just a local newspaper. So then now where will we go from here? Now, yes. I'm going to get to that. The reason why this is important is because most of you who listen to the show, you're here on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. You follow me on social media. And you might watch the playbacks here on the video. I always tell people, once again, you should listen to the radio feed. You should listen to the radio feed live because that's the real show. It is. It is the real show. But the cool thing about all of this is that it's because of you. We've been able to set the standard and raise the bar once again. No surprise. But yeah, we should call up Guinness. And listen, there needs to be something that's done, right? Well, I'm just telling you right now what it is. So here we go. We have some other people who join in. We have was it Keith and Cringer, a couple of other people. And you know what? You know, Cato always, I love, are you following Cato's collection on YouTube? And Cato just sent a text over here and he said, it's really good. He says, I watch cartoons to unburden myself from what has been. That's right. Nothing. Now, I guess the real question is yeah, maybe this might be something that really good. Now we have price controls coming, right? Yeah, old Shucklehouse Harris yesterday. She gets up and she says, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna sit there. You know what? The grocery industry, who has 2 or 3% margins, where everybody else has, at least 8 or 9% margins. Grocery industry, 2 or 3% margins. They are fleecing everybody. So we're gonna put price controls on your food. Why? Because Venezuela got it right. Now, I guess here's the real question for everybody is that if they're going to put price controls on food, which people say that's a bad idea, but as all of you know, you're watching this show, you're participating in the show, you're probably toy collectors. What if she puts a price control on toys and action figures? Now, is it different if they're 4+ as opposed to 14+? I mean, that's a big difference there. The reason why I say that is because, hey, listen, if price controls can be put on food, well, then you know what? I'm tired of paying $100 for a really good action figure. How about you? I mean, people complain about $55 Super 7, and then they complain about, $20 for Hasbro. And the reality is that most of these are just 2 or 3 aisles over from the bubble blowing lawnmower. So shame on you, collectors, for stealing the imaginations away from children because you got to complete your collection. Just order it online, you goons. Good grief. No, but okay, so, right? No, I know. Listen, get that hashtag dismount soapbox. But here we are. It is a Saturday. Yeah, oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Cato says, nothing says constitutional republic like price control. Here, here. That's right. But as long as they're doing it with the action figures and toys, I mean, we all know that this has gotten out of control. Action figures and toys gotten out of control, completely ridiculous. Oh, listen, I know. I know. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. It is crazy. You know what? One of the things that I do need to do is I need to thank a couple of people. The first person I want to thank is Quentin Bedwell. Are you following Quentin Bedwell? Want to give Quentin a shout out. Action Farce. Are you familiar with Action Farce? Action Farce, one of the premier comedy parody satire comics around. And of course, I am fortunate enough, I was drafted to be casted in the show, in the comic. And so want to just give a shout out to Quentin Bedwell. Action Farce. Make sure that you're following Quentin Bedwell. But just look up Action Farce. Action Farce. Whoa, here you go. Two dogs said this. Yeah. So, all right, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm going to read that in just a second. But yeah, want to give a shout out first, to Quentin Bedwell, Action Farce. Give a shout out to 3POA, everybody over in the 3POA network, the 3POA network. Shout out to all of them. Cato's collection, Ninja, old Ninja, Articulated Ninja, Chad, Jer E. All of those guys. Listen, I love all of you. It's been great. Aaron and Ted Darkclaw. Aaron, there's Aaron, and then there's Ted Darkclaw. I want to give a shout out to both of them as well. Ted, you mook. What are you doing? You make sure that you're down there, down in the basement, flipping those toys No, not flipping those toys. Selling those toys. Sorry, excuse me. Don't want to get don't get canceled by the whole community. No, no, no. I'm just kidding. So Ted, you mook, what you need to do is you need to sell those toys down in there and make sure next time you give everybody a shout out that you give your commanding officer one as well. You mook. Okay, last thing is C2 catering. So we see to it that your catering will be the best ever. What? No, C squared? That doesn't work. What do you mean that C squared? C squared catering because our cooking is square. No, no, no. No, no, it's C2 catering because we see to it that we're going to set the standard and raise the bar for your next event, whether it be, a corporate event or just random lunches in the middle of the day. C2 catering, we see to it that we're going to set the standard, raise the bar, and just continue to do everything, right? No, it's C squared. I don't have anything for C squared. We'll get to C squared, I guess, a little later. One of the things we are going to get to right now is that I have the X-Men coming up. The X-Men, yeah. I'm just going to say it right now. Yeah, so we have the X-Men coming up. Now, these X-Men theme songs, these X-Men jams are only going to be heard here on the radio. So I say, well, how does that happen? Make sure that you're downloading the Live 365 app, or go to WDCE. WDCE. You'll be able to listen to the cartoon themes. Got a whole bunch of themes here, but I gotta start off with X-Men. And you guys all know the X-Men, right? Yeah, so I'm going to just pump the X-Men for a few moments and then try to get Deep Cut Dave in here, maybe around 10:40-ish or so. Maybe 10:45. Might be about 10 minutes or so. I got some things everything was crazy this morning. Once again, shout out to the boys in blue here at the University of Richmond PD department for letting us in. So shout out to all that. Once again, shout out to everybody who's been paying attention and following along here. Gone a little bit longer than we'd like to. Just because we want to get back to the cartoons. Well, it's Saturday morning. Nothing says Saturday morning than you jam into some cartoon themes to get about your weekend. That's why we say we're ready for the weekend. Ready for the weekend. Start it up. Yes, that's not about what you got. It's what you got going on. What do we got going on? Well, we are the only two-time award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. Follow me at Sam Newsman, and make sure you're listening to us on the radio so you'll be able to hear Deep Cut Dave's segment. We'll be back, of course, here on the video around 11:11-ish. 11:11-ish. So then you can tune in then and see us there. Setting the standard and raising the bar, the only way a real two-time award-winning media puppet knows how to do. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.